Hey, how are you, my beautiful brothers and sisters? It's so good to be before you one more time. I wanted to just kind of hop on here because there was something that was really put in my spirit. This has been kind of bothering me though for a while, and I wanted to talk about this and tie it in with Scripture. And this has to do with us as a people coming back to the continent and the baggage that we carry as we come back that is actually quite destructive, or it's not productive for us as we come here to the continent. So I really want to talk about this because there are many of you that are planning to relocate to the continent. But we have to make sure that we're relocating with the correct mindset and not with all of those, all the baggage and that non-productive mess that has attached itself to us being from the West. So I want to talk to that about that in detail. But before I get started, you know, we got to do the subscription. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Definitely share this video and hit that bell notification so you'll know when I am uploading another video. And also remember to like this video. If it's something that is being said that you do like, definitely like this video. Also, like I said, share this video with other people that you feel would really benefit from this, especially those of us that are going to be relocating to the continent or wherever we're going to relocate to, because this applies anywhere and everywhere. So, but thank you so much for being with me one more time. I think I just want to share my heart with all of you. I was sent a email. This was a little while ago. That's why I'm saying this has been like really in my spirit for a while, about the progress of people from the diaspora. What's the progress in terms of, you know, presence? And I answered the email very best I could, but I want to tell you what happened to me. I was this was several months ago. I was laying in the bed and I was mourning, and I was getting ready to get up, you know, and start stirring for the day. But I was spending time with Father, and what he told me, put in my spirit very heavily, is that it was time to heal. This is a season for healing. That's what it was. And personally, I thought that was basically referring to me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, any old wounds or anything that needs to be healed, oh, let it be healed, you know, in the name of Yeshua. But so I, you know, got up, started milling around, and for an entire week, Father started showing me what he meant. He clarified for me exactly what he meant. And the meaning of this healing message that he gave me was really dealing with us coming back to the continent or going wherever else we're going, and that we need to heal back to this continent. Because I'm going to tell you something. Before I moved here, I was telling my daughter, I was telling Nye that I was really excited, you know, to move here, because I felt that the Diasporan community, the people who were already here, were probably people that were just very aware, that happened to be in a space where they were, you know, more progressive, productive minded, maybe, you know, kind of having a strong community. And I'll be honest with you, that is not what I found. when I came here, and it was very disappointing, to be perfectly honest with you. We are in a situation, I can speak here of Ghana, but this is kind of our situation, period. But we're in a situation where we are here in Ghana, which is great, fine, and lovely. But we are dealing with a whole lot of baggage that definitely hinders us from working together, just like in the States, just like probably other places where there's a large concentration of us. And to be honest with you, it has put us in a situation here where there isn't a great deal of respect for us in that way, even though we are people who influence the rest of the world, because we influence things here in Ghana. But in terms of behavior, in terms of really moving forward and being progressive as a community, that's just not here. It's just not here. I give, mucho props to Diasporans who have come here and who've started businesses and, who've worked with people, with children here in Ghana. I give them mad respect. But to be honest with you, we have been coming here to Ghana for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades. Yet we have nothing here that screams or signifies that the Diasporan community built this, that the Diasporan community is moving forward in this area. We don't have that. We don't have that going on at all. And it's a sad situation to me. That's another reason why I started Diaspora Headquarters, because it's about us really kind of coming together, which I understand we have been programmed, brainwashed, and conditioned not to work together, not to trust each other. But we're going to have to come out of that, because I'm looking at, I had an incident, I'll tell you about this, that happened to me. I was putting together an event for DHQ, and I was looking for a venue. And the better venues were actually all owned by other nations of people. There's some, people here who have, venues, but I'm talking about the caliber I was looking for this event. It's not us. It's not even really a lot of Ghanaians. You have to go to the other nations of people who have put up these things, who have built things. And for us, that's something that we have not done. And it's really sad. And I know that it has cost these other nations boohoo dollars or whatever their currency is to be able to come in and make a footprint here. But I'm going to tell you something. And some of you know this, that we are not a broke nation of people. We sometimes talk about Ghanaians, you're not, your nation, you have all these minerals, all these riches in your land, and But guess what? We have a lot of resources as well. Any nation of people, especially in the States, but other places too, that can spend trillions upon trillions of dollars to buy shoes and buy bags and buy that type of stuff. Yet it's difficult for us to harness that into actually, if we're coming here, we need to come back here and we need to represent, because we're not. We really, really aren't. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she brought something back to my remembrance that I remember I was told a few years ago, that when, diasporans were working on citizenship with the Ghanaian government, and there were so many different diasporan entities, so many different organizations. And one of the Ghanaian officials said, and it was embarrassing to me, said, well, you're all coming at us and you can't even seem to come together yourselves and unify yourselves. And the man, I'm sorry, but that man was correct. But that was just, I don't know. That was embarrassing to me. We are people that influence people, and they do look up to us in terms of maybe culture, but in terms of us coming together, doing what we need to do to make our mark here, to say this is what the diasporan community has done. They're getting ready to do this. They've done that. We don't have that. We don't have that. These other nations are here and they are making really big marks here. I mean, even if it's a hotel or just, it doesn't have to be, the Ritz, but but a hotel that's owned by us, or something that we can honestly say, this is ours. Because it's almost a situation where we need to wake up. It makes me think about Spike Lee's School Days at the end. But we need to wake up, because what we're doing is, by us continuously being separate, or having the mindset, that I got mine, that you need to get yours. We are actually even violating Scripture when we do that. But we know that we have been worked on psychologically to keep us restricted as a people. But it's ridiculous that we don't, as long as diasporans have been coming to Ghana, I'll just say Ghana, that there is nothing here that is substantial that speaks for the diasporan community being in Ghana. Nothing. We come here with that same old behavior that I'm seeing that makes me sick. Of, we like to, be clicked up and try to be more like elitists and you're not doing anything, but it's, or doing this photo op with this person, or, trying to get in other people's parties, and that type of thing, which amounts to what? Absolutely nothing. Because nothing is being produced from that. For me personally, I don't want to be on a picture with the president of Ghana. I don't want to be on a picture with MPs in Ghana. For what? For what? How does that, for you to just brag and say this is what I've done? But see, this comes into the category of low self-esteem. You feel more credible, I guess, or more important, or, it validates you as a person more because you're sitting on a picture with these people. And these people care absolutely nothing about us. I mean, we really do need to tell the truth and shame the devil. People are coming here and they think that, it's just a kumbaya kind of situation when it's not. When it's not. We are seen as foreigners. We're seen as foreigners. So it's not a situation where you're around these political people or whatever, Ghana, and they give a damn about us, because they don't. but we need to give a damn about ourselves. You know, one thing that I do know is that we come from a very special people. We come from people who build nations. That's what we do. Those of us who know the Bible, that's what we do. We build nations. And we're nation builders. So why does that have to stop? Because I feel, and this is the reason why we do what we do in Diaspora Headquarters, I feel that if there are problems that we're having as a diasporan community, well, guess what? We need to figure out a way around, through, under, or whatever over that problem. Because we can do that, because we have that, our minds are wired like that. I'm not at the mercy of anyone, no one. So it's only Father, okay? Only Father. So, like for instance, I'm going to give you an example. One of my friends, she's a member of DHQ. She was telling me the other day she's looking for another house to live because her house has mold in it and it's making her sick. She's been sick quite a bit. And she told me, and those of you that are coming here, you need to listen to what I'm saying with this. She said there's a new, I don't know, kind of scam or something that that these agents are working now, where they will take you to, you might see something advertised or whatever on Townaton or Gigi or, you know, whatever, wherever. And she was saying that they will take you to some of these places, but these places really aren't available to you. So they'll let you know, oh, I showed it to you, but it was already rented. Another agent rented it out, when that's not the truth. What they're doing is they're getting showing fees, because you have to pay, if you don't know, you have to pay when you go to see some property. If you just want to take a look, or a house that's for rent, the agent that's taking you gets paid to even take you there. So we're kind of not so used to that in the States, unless it's changed and it's different now, but you have to pay them. So what she was telling me is they're just trying to get a showing fee out of you, knowing that these places are not available. So it just goes into that hemorrhaging of money, which I hate so much. But I was telling her, I said, you know what? There are a couple people from the diaspora that are here that kind of work in real estate a little bit, in, you know, in terms of land or whatever. And I was telling her, I said, you see, the way that I see it is we need to set up our own system. We've got to set up systems within this system that works for us. And I said, then that way, if we have agents here that are actually from the diaspora that will not do something like that, well, then we get around that situation. Or figure out ways around situations. There's a problem here with mechanics. Some of you who've been following me for a while, I've talked about my car. I even showed you a picture when I was getting my air fixed, what they did to my car. I'm gonna see if I can find that picture and put it on here. It looked like a bomb went out in my car, but the mechanics here, for the most part, are not good. I was talking to a Ghanaian mechanic who is actually really good. He used to be a master mechanic. And I just put the suggestion out there to him. I said, would you be interested in training, of course males, but females in basic auto mechanics? I said, because there are a lot of, and I'm talking about diasporan females, I said, there are a lot of diasporan females that are coming here, and they run out of ways or whatever to get money. They're coming here sometimes with their children. And that could be a way that they can make money. But if they're trained well, I would take my car to one of those women or men. We need mechanics out here. We need good mechanics out here. But see, I see nothing wrong with us, coming together. So if a mechanic wanted to come out here and they're good, us as a community coming together to set that person up with a mechanic shop, then that way we have somewhere to take our cars. We're just kind of in a victim mode, and we shouldn't be. We really shouldn't be. We have a lot of great minds in our community that can figure out ways to get around this system, which is broken, this system that's here. Well, we can set up a system inside of the system that works for us. That works for us. But what I see is people that have been here a long time or been here for a little while, but the focus is all off. And then also we suffer from kind of not wanting to see each other get ahead, because this is my feeling. If a Diasporan wins, I win. I automatically win because I'm a part of that community. Now, I am not saying, because some people might say, well, wait a minute, you're in Ghana, what about Ghanaians? One thing that I do feel, and this is what I was taught as a child by my parents, is you have to take care of home first before you can even effectively help someone else. If our community, if our house is broken and full of holes, and when it rains, water is coming in, we can kind of try to give shelter to someone else, but it's not going to be as effective. And we need to get more grounded here. We need to get more grounded here, because what I see is everybody lone wolfing it, coming out here, doing your own thing. And I'm gonna tell you another thing that I see. I see a lot of diasporans that are suffering in silence. Suffering in silence. And when I say that, I mean running out of money because they have been hemorrhaging money, because we're trying to work within a system that obviously does not work. But hemorrhaging money, then they have no money, so they have to return to the States, or they have to just sit and suffer in silence. That bothers me. That bothers me. Not when we can come together as a community, because Diaspora HQ, I will say, we have come together when people have gotten into trouble and we've helped them. It's not a thing where again, I'm here and I just want, some glory just being here. That's the problem. That's the problem. Coming together. In fact, there's another piece that I had started working on and I'm going to revisit. It's an employment piece. I won't give the details, but it's an employment piece to get people work. And they'll be able to get paid in the currency of where they come from. So to help people get to work, to have something. And I want to say this to those of you who are listening, and please take this advice, is if you're coming here, one of the first things you need to do is see if you can get online work that you can perform here. Because that is something that you can fall back on. I can attest to that. Before, maybe about a year and a half before I moved here, I was just looking to make a little extra money. I didn't even think I was going to use that here. But I'm a writer. I'm a technical writer. And I got myself a little online job, and just to, kind of make a little extra money. Do you know that that job has come through for us a few times? And we're getting paid, of course, American dollars. So we're not getting paid that much. But when you switch it over to CDs, oh yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. So I try to, and I've told people who have called me that are still, in the UK or the States or, Canada, if you can get yourself an online job, because once you get here, let's just keep it 100. Once you get here, Ghana is a country that's pretty shut off and closed off in terms of they won't let, you can't do the VPN, very rarely can you do stuff like that to try to block your IP address. That's like even PayPal. They banned PayPal in Ghana because of fraud. Because of fraud. I have a PayPal account. I was doing something with my PayPal account. They locked me out. It took a minute for my PayPal account to be recovered. I had to talk to a lot of people, and now I just don't use it because of the IP address. But it's the same thing if you're applying for an online job. You might need to be in the States for a phone interview, or you might have to, you might need to just be in the States or England or where UK or wherever you're from, Canada, Caribbean. You might need to be there to secure that job. So that's just a word of advice. So even if the job doesn't really pay like oodles and oodles of money, when you translate that currency into CDs, it's pretty decent. Trust me, it's pretty decent. So that's kind of my word of advice. But like I said, people, suffering here in silence. We have to learn how to take care of each other better than this. If we're coming over here, we need to come over here with a different mindset. We need to heal back to the continent. We need to heal back here. A lot of all those old ideas and the old ways that we, had to survive, I guess, in the States, that stuff you need to leave there. When you come here, it's important for us to be more community minded. But I am going to say this, because again, I keep it real. What pisses me off more than anything is when diasporans take advantage of other diasporans. That sends me into orbit, because you already know what kind of system is here. And we are targets because we're foreigners and they feel like we have a lot of money. But when we take advantage of each other, well, that turns into a whole nother ball game. And as I find out who's doing stuff like that, I'm gonna start exposing those people, because I don't like it. I don't like it. You're taking people. You're taking advantage of people. And speaking of that, I mentioned this on another video. Please, 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 my brothers and sisters, stop purchasing this land without being here yourself. That is not smart. That's not smart. And that is the best way to get taken. That is the best and easiest way to get taken by Ghanaians and diasporans alike. Because I know you're excited about getting a hold of some land. But you don't do it unless you're here. Like I said, I stressed that on another video, but I keep seeing people do the same thing and then they end up in trouble. But you got to listen. You have to listen. You don't need to be buying no land without being here. You don't need to be building no house without being here. Boy, can I tell you some stories about people building houses and they're not here. And the fiasco that has turned into. You need to be here to do these major things in your life. Stop putting your life, your livelihood, your family in the hands of people that you don't know. I just kind of wonder, would that behavior be prominent if you were in the States and you were dealing with business in the States or in the UK or in Canada? People you don't know, I'm going to turn all my money over to you. If you wouldn't do it there, don't do it here. It's not wise. It's not wise. When we keep that same mindset of not working together, of not really fully coming together as a community, all we're doing is letting the brainwashing, the programming, the conditioning of a white supremacist system win. That's really all we're doing. We're letting it win. And I refuse to let that system that we were raised in, which is dysfunctional, which is destructive to us as a community, I refuse to let that win. And I'm on this continent. I refuse to take that with me, because I know that for us to move forward, we have to do it together. I'm going to lay some scriptures on y'all dealing with this very, very subject. Psalms 133:1. Behold, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. 1 Corinthians 1:10. I appeal to you, brothers, by the name of our Lord and Savior, that all of you agree and that there be no divisions among you, but that you be united in the same mind and the same judgment. 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, all of you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Matthew 18:20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I among them. 2 Corinthians 13:11. Finally, brothers, rejoice, aim for restoration, comfort one another, agree with one another, live in peace, and the Elohim of love and peace will be with you. Ephesians 4:3. Strive earnestly to guard and keep the harmony and the oneness of the spirit of the binding power of speech. Psalms 34:14. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious oil upon the head running down on the beard. Acts 4:32. And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul. Neither said any of them that aught of the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things in common. Philippians 2:2-3. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vain glory. I'm going to say that one more time. Vain glory. But in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. And that's only a few scriptures. But because of how we have been conditioned to move and to behave, it creates a situation where we cut ourselves off because of the way that we are with each other. You know, and this is something that I have to work on myself. We're overly sensitive. You know, when it comes to certain things, it's like, okay, well, I'm being attacked when you really probably aren't. You know, but because of the issues that we deal with, it makes it very difficult to move together. It makes it very, very hard. And like I said, these are things that because I'm a sensitive person, these are things that I'm really working on. So, because I know this can defeat what it is that needs to be done if I'm being just overly sensitive and I'm not getting an understanding of what people mean or you know, because some of us too, I can speak for myself, we're here and we're on this journey, but it's to make us better. You know, it's to make us, it's to refine us more. And situations can happen for that refinement to take place, but we're looking at it in the wrong headspace because we're looking at it through hurt, we're looking at it through trauma, we're looking at it through just dirty filters, how we filter information. You know, some of us are dealing with stuff from our past that is causing us to misinterpret what it is that somebody might be saying or doing. You know, and it's in all things, as the word tells us, in all things get an understanding. You know, and let's not just go off on a tangent and, well, you know, I'm being wrong when you really may not be. You know, so I think that for where we are right now, for those of you who are coming back or those of you who are already here, I've had, you know, several people since my video with Niger. I did a interview with Niger just maybe about a week or so ago, and I've been contacted by people and they really are interested in DHQ, which that's wonderful. But I use a lot of discernment when it comes to people coming into DHQ. There are some people that I have showed the door of DHQ because their agenda is not right. Their agenda is very self-serving. And DHQ is about community. You have to be a community-minded person and really get it. There are so many that don't really get it because, again, because of the programming, the brainwashing, conditioning that we have, you know, been through from way back, you know, when those ships hit the shores, you know, of the different continents. You know, we've been pitted against each other. So, but at what point are we going to say enough is enough? When are we going to wake up and understand that we are being puppets of the system that we were brought up in? Now when we come here, we bring that same mindset here. How does that work? You know, how does that work? And again, then we also can bring that mindset where, let me see if I can get mine, and take advantage maybe of the lack of knowing of new people that are coming over here. But see, that's where you got to keep your eye on the bag. You know, it's, when it comes to money, because listen, let me tell you something about DHQ. I was talking earlier about if you win, I win. I refuse to charge a membership fee for DHQ. For what? And I know people say, but you need money to do. Well, we'll get the money we need when we need it. I'm not even worried about that. because this was something Father told me to do. So I'm not even really worried about that part. With the businesses, the Diasporan businesses that are being featured and that are being advertised or highlighted on the website, are we charging for that? No, I'm not going to charge for that, because we need to know we have these businesses out there that are Diasporan owned. We need to know about each other's businesses. It's not about, well, you got to pay this. No, you don't. I've paid for the website. I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine. Father's got me covered, so I'm not even worried about that. But for the Diasporan business owners, we don't even know about each other's businesses a lot. Well, that's not good. So we need a central location. And then you have some people that have these businesses and books or whatever, and then they charge for, I've got a totally different mindset. I don't operate that way, because I know that sometimes that type of thing is counterproductive. Then you have people that charge up the yin yang just to give you advice about living here in Ghana. Come on, man. That's just crazy to me. That makes no sense to me. Now, I can understand if someone wants to charge, if they have to, let's say, if you ask them, can you check out the schools? Well, you got to go, you got to burn your gas, and that's your time to go and check out these schools, talk to whoever needs to be talked to, things like that. I can understand that. If you have people finding you a place to live when you get here, I can understand that. But just advice on how to live here? No. So Diaspora HQ is going to probably crumb some businesses out there of people that are, to me, taking advantage of the situation. So we've got to be there to have each other's back. We need to be. We don't have to do anything, but it's going to keep us in the same position that we're in now. We are all called to grow together in unity over time. We're all called to do that, really. And those of you who who say, I know who we are, we're Israelites, you really do need to get a hold of this. You really do need to get a hold of this, because with we have a piece in DHQ that deals with healing, because that post-traumatic slave syndrome is real, but it's dealing with healing from all of this stuff. We had to do it. That's what Father woke me when I was with him that morning, and he talked to me about that. And it all fell together like clockwork. We have to heal back to this continent. It's not about moving baggage from one continent to another. We need to require more from ourselves now and fight that system, that white supremacist system that has us in this mess. I refuse to let that system work. Not for me. Not for me. But brothers and sisters, I do want to come on here and talk about this just to kind of, get it off my chest a little bit. And I've been doing really good on this video, because I can get really worked up about this, because it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So if you're planning on coming, relocating, just keep in mind you need to relocate with a different mindset, asking Father to heal you of all that crap that has just been heaped on us living in the West. It's not a matter of you just physically just moving. No, there are other areas where we have got to heal. We've been traumatized. And it's okay to say, yes, I need to be healed. I've been traumatized. There's nothing wrong with that, because it wasn't something that we did technically. It's the system over there and how it's set up, rigged up to go against us. Yeah, I've been traumatized. I have. And yes, I need to be healed. Yes, I do. And that's the first step to healing. Let Father do the work. Let him do the healing. But anyway, well, that brings me to the end of this video. I am so happy that you guys, for those of you who sat through it and listened to the end, thank you for hanging in there with me while I talked about this. I have another good subject for the next video too, but I'm gonna wait and let Father just kind of pull that together. But anyway, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget, please don't forget to comment. Definitely give me your comments on this one. I'm really curious as to what you guys, have to say. Some of you may agree with me. Some of you may not. I don't have a problem with people that disagree with me, because we'll just agree to disagree. But, and also, like this video, definitely, and share. Please share this video. If this has struck some sort of chord with you, definitely share this video, with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, anybody who you feel, okay, they might need to hear this. Okay, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It's good being back here on before you again. It is. But you guys take care, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Bye.